Hello everyone, from me, Danny, here at the Hub. I hope you all managed to have a lovely summer holiday and a big welcome back. So myself and Ellie have put together a video for you around being part of the Hub this year and the facilitation that you're going to participate in. We realised that it'd be extremely difficult to release you from your schools, but not only that, I'm not sure many of you would probably want to come out, particularly at this busy part of the year. Now, I know that some of you have been working as facilitators on various programs for the last 2 or 3 years, but I want to welcome a new group of facilitators. Just before we broke up in the summer, I opened up the opportunity, which to be honest was my plan to do pre-pandemic, but the most important thing is we finally got there and we're now welcoming a new group. As facilitators, I am going to aim to try and bring you together at some point this year. Really, it's a chance for you to meet each other face to face, of course, and it will give me an opportunity to go through some of the other key things that I would like all facilitators to be aware of. I'm going to ask Ellie to come in here because she's part of this video as well.
Morning everyone, you all know me, my name's Ellie. Firstly, a big welcome to our current facilitators and a massive congratulations to our new recruits in being appointed as facilitators at the TTLT. I'm really looking forward to working with many of you on these exciting new programmes. As many of you know, I've been a facilitator with the Trust since we set up really, first and foremost on our NQT programme and then on other early career programmes. I've had the privilege of working with several teachers across the Trust and developed some strong professional relationships with many colleagues. I've also been able to work in partnership with some of our more external partners, such as University College London and Tollgate, which has further supported my professional development. More recently, as a result of these endeavours, I've become a visiting fellow for Ambition and now facilitate on their training courses, delivering conferences and clinics about the early career framework to schools across Newham. So as you can see, several opportunities have come my way as a result of becoming a facilitator at the TTLT, which I will always be grateful for.
Right, so why facilitators? Why a big group? There are a number of reasons why I created this opportunity, and believe you me, when I have these ideas, I have to run them by a panel of head teachers as well as senior operations teams to seek, the approval before I can go ahead with any of them. The reason I say that is because I want you to understand that your head teachers are all on board with this concept and support you in carrying out this role. I've always been keen to get people involved with the work that the Training Hub does, and therefore, that goes for wider trust work. Many staff understand that we provide a training and support service for the Trust. However, very little probably know about the work that goes on in the background and why we do it. Now, I'm not going to go into all the ins and the outs of that. I will do that when I have you all together in a room. But for me, as the director of the Hub, I would want you to have some understanding of the work or the work that you do and the Training Hub and why you're part of that. For our new group of facilitators, this is certainly an excellent CPD opportunity for you all. I'm still in the process of trying to arrange your CPD training, and part of the work that we do is working with external partners, and in this case, as well as many others I can tell you about, it can sometimes be quite laboursome. What I would say though is, the adult facilitation is very different to standing up in front of a class of children. It's a little bit more daunting, it requires a set of skills that I suppose are different to teaching. But the more that you do it and the more that you develop, you will certainly build your confidence over time and you will become a much better and more confident facilitator from it. One of the other reasons is I want new faces leading on our programs. I want people who are current, in the field, working at the forefront of education. One of my personal targets this year is to get back to teaching, something that I've always made sure I kept doing, and the pandemic has meant, I haven't taught for the last 18 months or so. Now, you all fall into this category, you're excellent practitioners. I would like to hope that you enjoy this experience, and as we grow further and the trust grows, which in no doubt, will happen, there will be other opportunities that come from it. So you're probably wondering how this whole system works, where you fit in, what you'll be possibly leading on, who you might be working with, all those kind of questions. Hopefully the next few slides will allow you to gain some understanding of this. So how does this work? Well, currently there are two groups of facilitators. We've got our current facilitators and we've got our new facilitators. If you're a current facilitator, you will obviously have gone through that training process. You are in a position to lead and deliver on the programs that the Trust Hub does. We are going to use you for all early delivery of the programs, so anything really based in autumn will be led by our current facilitators. Our new facilitators, there's a process that we need to undertake. First of all, it's the understanding. You need to understand where you fit in. You need to understand, obviously, what you will be co-facilitating on, which we are going to share with you. The next step is to undergo that training, which is going to happen sometime this term, hopefully, if I can organise it. It's been a bit of a challenge, what with COVID and the UCL being tied up with the ECF programme, but I will get information to you as I can and when I get it. But the aim is to get you trained this autumn. That will then put us in a position to be ready for sort of spring, summertime, where you will begin the planning and delivery of some of the sessions that we've penciled you in for. Okay, now you will be supported by another current facilitator, whether that's myself, Ellie, Sophie, or any of the other facilitators, Anna, Paul. They're all trained, they're all ready to go with you. But the idea is that you will plan together, you will carry that out and deliver it. And the most important thing is that you reflect upon it, okay? Because you will learn more through the reflection than you will anything else, I believe. Next stage really goes into year 2, where you are given more autonomy, okay? So you might be in a position to lead on programs yourself. You may be the key lead for that program. You might be the key lead for that session, okay? That will depend on you and that your confidence, your development over the year, and what you're comfortable in doing. So that's kind of where we all fit in and the process that some of us are undertaking. So I'm now going to share with you the Learning Walk program series that we're undertaking this year. This has really been designed as a way for us to reconnect, begin to look outside of our school again, particularly the last 18 months where we've been so insular. This really will mainly concern the current facilitators in the hub, and I just want to briefly talk through this outline. Firstly, as you can see, these sessions are around 90 minutes to 2 hours long. Each school has suggested areas in which they will host others to come and join them on the proposed learning walk, along with the discussion that goes along with that. I have assigned a facilitator to each school, and you will see below on the document a name of the person within that school that you will be carrying out that session with. There are 2 reasons for this, one being that the person in the school will be able to talk through the context, they will know the school, they'll be able to explain a lot around the way the things are done and look through. This person, however, may not be as skilled at facilitation, which is where you come in. Your job really will be to manage, to oversee, to help that session along, to aid the discussion, all of those key things that a facilitator can do. Below I've given a rough outline of how that session could look. We don't necessarily need to stick to this rigidly, however I would suggest you try and use it to help you when you plan it out. Okay, so taking a look at this, you'll see for the first 15 to 20 minutes I've put down something like arrival, welcome, details of the session. It's really important that the expectations are set out very clearly, okay? And for new facilitators, you'll see why that is so important when you carry out your training. But this is supposed to be a positive experience, and we want to get that message across. We want to capture things from the day. We want to take things back that we could possibly use in our own practice, and that message of the positive approach has to be across. We don't want people coming back from the learning walk and saying negative things. It's not about that. You might hear also explain how the session will work, where you're going, who you're seeing, when you're doing it. Okay, it then goes into the learning walk, which is around 45 to 60 minutes. So you've got plenty of time to do it. Okay, and that's where you will be visiting the classes, the areas, and like I've said here, you can carry this out ideally you would carry it out in 2s or 3s. You wouldn't want to go around in a massive group. It's not ideal. So do think about that when you're planning out the session. You want them to capture things that they are going to use for the next aspect, which will be the post-learning walk discussion. So ideally in this part, they might have prerequisites, they might have questions, they might have come with things that they want answering or looking into. Okay, so use the learning walk to find the answers out to those particular things. Then comes the post-learning walk discussion, which is around 30 minutes long. And this is where the facilitator will probably have to take a more prominent role in the session, because you're going to bring that group together. You've got to get them to share their findings from the learning walk, things that they possibly learn, the positive things they've seen, what will they take back, why will they take it back. Here, the person you're working with may also be brought in to answer specific questions around things that they may have seen that you might not have the answer to. But that's the general gist of the way that I want it to kind of work. Yes, there's some leeway in that in the way that you do it. There are some sessions on here, particularly the research session for transition, which I'll be working with Kate Sawyer on. That won't work in this particular format. And just the last few points. It is the job of the facilitator to make contact with the person you are carrying it out with. Ideally, think about half a term before, which I know with the initial ones isn't possible. We do need to make sure that the school has organised a room. We've begun to start thinking about what that learning walk might look like. Remember, these people that you're working with may not have that knowledge or have not skilled at any of this. As mentioned, many of our current facilitators will be leading on this, with the exception of Jimmy and Chris, who I've paired up to do the technology in the classroom. Don't worry guys, I will be there to help you with that. Please, if you could all read through the overview, as I've sent this on the email, attached it to the email as well. I'm going to hand over to Ellie now, who is going to go through the further development of teaching and learning programme.
So the further development of teaching and learning programme will be led by myself. So if you're delivering on the further development course, I'll be coordinating and leading the programme, so you'll get to see a lot of me at the planning stages and delivery. Essentially, it's a revised programme from previous years, some of which many of you may have already attended, and it was research based and it was developed in partnership with University College London. As a result of COVID, we've had to kind of tweak it and change the programme, as we felt that NQTs had less opportunities to develop last year, so it needed to be revised to ensure that their needs were being met. The programme is essentially aimed at early career teachers, normally in years 2 or 3 of their teaching journey. It covers a wide range of topics from differentiation, classroom environments, behaviour and metacognition. There will be a lot of new content on the programme, and some of which will be coming from the early career framework, which our early career teachers will be learning about this year. All sessions run on a Tuesday morning from 9 till 11:30. There will be 12 sessions across the year in total, and this works out at 4 per term. You needn't worry about venues or anything like that, because they have all been booked out across the schools over the year. If you're delivering on one of these sessions, you can expect a meeting with myself approximately 2 weeks ahead of the session to map out and plan how we're going to deliver it. You'll then work alongside your co-facilitator to decide which parts of that session you're going to deliver on, and then you'll deliver it. As part of all our sessions as well, you will be expected to carry out an evaluation at the end of the session.
So there you are, everyone. That's the end of our video. We just want to wish you a really successful year in your roles within your school. We hope that you enjoy working with us at the Training Hub, and we obviously will be in touch with you soon, in particular around the training and things like that. If you've got any questions, or you want to get in contact with us about any of the stuff that we've mentioned today, we are opening up a Zoom link. You've probably seen that on the email that I've sent across. And that's for the Thursday the 16th. We'll do it from 3:30, but it's only going to be for about half an hour, 45 minutes. If you want to, you don't have to. If you want to come on, say hello, ask us any questions, or meet some of the other facilitators, then that would be a really good thing to do. We realised we couldn't release this video without actually giving some sort of follow-up to it. Okay, so hopefully we'll see you then. If not, we will see you at some point. Thanks for watching.